In the early 2000s, Ferrari was the team to beat in Formula 1. From 1999 to 2004, they won all 6 Constructors' Championships and 5 Drivers' Championships with Michael Schumacher. During this period, they created some of the best and most dominant Formula 1 cars of all time. But one car encapsulates their dominance better than the rest. The F2004. 15 wins, 29 podiums in 18 races. The F2004 took Ferrari to their 14th Constructors' Championship and took Michael Schumacher to his 7th and final World Championship. To see how this car became so dominant, we need to go back to the previous season. In 2003, Ferrari started the first 4 rounds with the previous season's utterly dominant F2002. The car was still competitive, but it was nowhere near the dominant force that it was the previous year. Both McLaren and Williams had caught up to Ferrari, and the Scuderia had to respond. So, at round 5, during the Spanish Grand Prix, Ferrari finally unveiled the F2003 GA, their 2003 challenger. The car was an evolution of the almighty F2002. Life started well for the F2003, winning 3 out of the first 4 races that it competed in. But the F2003 had fundamental issues. It tended to overuse its tyres, which caused their result to slump during the unusually hot summer of 2003, allowing McLaren and Williams to close up to Ferrari. The rest of the season would be fiercely fought, and at the end, the Scuderia would only end up winning the Constructors by 14 points. Schumacher would only win the Drivers' Championships by a mere 2 points. For 2004, Ferrari would build the F2004 based on the same principles that created the F2002. Almost every part of the F2004 would be improved and fine-tuned from the previous year's F2003. The exhaust was repositioned, the rear wing enlarged, and the rear suspension redesigned to reduce tyre wear. It had a lower centre of gravity and better weight distribution than its predecessors. The rear end aerodynamics were improved and wheelbase shortened. When completed, the F2004 had a length of 4,545mm, a width of 1,796mm, and weighed at 605 kilograms. It was powered by a 3-litre naturally aspirated V10, which could output 920 horsepower and screamed at 19,000 RPM. It would run on Bridgestone tyres, which was solely developed to get the best out of the F2004, and Shell would develop their fuel and lubricants to maximize the V10 in the back. Ferrari shook the car down at their own Fiorano racetrack before taking the F2004 to Imola, where they could compare it back-to-back with the previous year's F2003. Ferrari's own simulation showed that the car should be about half a second faster than its predecessors. Instead, the F2004, in the hands of Schumacher, was already lapping 2 seconds quicker. Instead of congratulating themselves, they were convinced that something wasn't quite right. Initially, they thought that the car was running underweight as someone had forgot to put ballast in, but that was quickly ruled out. Ferrari then ran a long investigation, still convinced that there was something wrong with the F2004. But Schumacher knew and insisted that the car was just that good. The following day, Ferrari ran more back-to-back tests with the F2003 and the F2004. But all this showed was that the F2004 was even stronger on the longer runs. Rubens Barrichello would test the F2004 for himself for the first time at Mugello. Ferrari was still convinced that there was something wrong, up to the point that they thought that maybe their timing system was wrong. But both drivers knew that the speed of the F2004 was real. Ferrari, Schumacher, and the F2004 would come off the gates red hot, winning all 5 of the first 5 races before a retirement due to this incident under the safety car at Monaco ruined their run. Ferrari would go on a tear yet again, winning the next 7 races, and by round 14 at the Belgian Grand Prix, Ferrari and Schumacher would complete the inevitable, winning his 7th and final World Championship and his 5th in a row with the Scuderia, cementing the F2004 in Formula 1 history as one of the great Formula 1 cars alongside the MP4-4, Williams FW14B and the W11. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.